violated the whip dated 2nd July allegedly issued by the petitioner in respect of election of the speaker held on 3rd July 2022. This submission cannot be accepted and the respondents cannot be held to be disqualified in view of my conclusion in respect of the real political party that the Shinde faction was the real political party when the rival faction emerged, and Sri Sunil Prabhu ceased to reflect the will of the political party from the moment rival factions emerged. Thus, it would not be correct to say that Sri Sunil Prabhu has any authority to issue any whip on 2nd June 2022. Hence, on this ground alone, petitioner's case that the respondents are liable to be disqualified for violation of whip dated 2nd July 2022 must be rejected. Irrespective of any conclusion that may be reached about which faction was the real political party, respondents could not be held to be disqualified on the ground that they violated the whip dated 2nd July 2022. This is because of the reasons recorded herein below. The petitioner has failed to prove the service of whip dated 2nd July 2022. Petitioner Sri Sunil Prabhu PW1 in his affidavit in lieu of examination in chief deposed that the whips dated 2nd July 2022 were sent by email to the email address of the respondents. He stated that Sri Vijay Joshi, an employee working in the Shiv Sena Vidhimandal Karyalay, Vidhan Bhavan, was instructed to send the whip. He further deposed that 2 whips dated 2nd July 2022 were sent by Sri Vijay Joshi to the respondents in disqualification petition number 19 and 21 of 2022. We did 3 emails dated 2nd July 2022. The said emails were produced along with the affidavit in lieu of evidence in chief. He further stated that email addresses of the respondents were taken from the email addresses mentioned in the official list of members of Maharashtra Legislative Assembly 2023 or as mentioned in a list furnished by the advocates for the respondents. We did the email dated 21st September 2023. Sri Vijay Joshi, PW2, specifically filed affidavits in lieu of examination of chief and deposed that he was working in the Shiv Sena Vidhimandal Karyalay, Vidhan Bhavan, in June 2022 and on instructions of Sri Sunil Prabhu sent 2 whips dated 2nd July 2022 to the MLA of Shiv Sena Legislature Party. We did 3 emails. He produced printouts of emails dated 2nd July 2022 along with whip dated 2nd July 2022. However, during the cross-examination of Sri Vijay Joshi, PW2, he deposed that one computer operator printed the whip dated 2nd June 2022 and he along with 2 peons distributed the whip to all the legislators of Shiv Sena. Further, he also deposed during cross-examination that acknowledgements were taken. Thus, the witness who was specifically brought to depose in respect of the service of whip dated 2nd July 2022 made extremely contradictory statements in the affidavit in lieu of examination in chief and during cross-examination. Further, it is to be also noted that the acknowledgement talked about by Sri Vijay Joshi, PW2, were never brought on record. Coupled with the above facts, respondents have demonstrated how some of the email IDs in the printout of the email produced by Sri Vijay Joshi are wrong. In view of the above, I hold that petitioner has not been able to establish the service of whip dated 2nd July 2022 and thus petitioner's case that the respondents were liable to be disqualified for violation of whip dated 2nd July 2022 must be rejected. Rule 3 subclause 5 of the members of Maharashtra Legislative Assembly disqualification on the grounds of defection rule 1986 provides that where a member belonging to any political party votes or abstains from voting in the assembly contrary to the directions issued by such political party or by any person or authority authorized by it in this behalf without obtaining in either case the prior permission of such political party, person or authority, the leader of the legislative party concerned, or shall as soon as may be thereafter and in any case within 30 days from the date of such voting or abstention, inform the Speaker as in Form 2 whether such voting or abstention has or has not been condoned by such political party, persons or authority. From the record of the Legislature Secretariat, it is seen that the petitioner and or UBD faction has not complied with this rule. Thus, on this ground also, petitioner's case that the respondents were liable to be disqualified for violation of whip dated 2nd July 2022 must be rejected. The Honorable Supreme Court in Kyoto Holohan and others at paragraph 123 SCC has held that keeping in view the consequences of the disqualification, i.e. termination of the membership of a house, it would be appropriate that the directions or whip which results in disqualification under paragraph 21b is so worded as to clearly indicate that voting or abstaining from voting contrary to the said direction would result in incurring the disqualification under paragraph 21b of the 10th schedule, so that the member concerned has foreknowledge of the consequences following from the conduct in voting or abstaining from voting contrary to such a direction. A perusal of the whip dated 2nd June 2022 shows that the whip dated 2nd June 2022 does not contain any words which would indicate that the said whip, if not allowed, would result in the disqualification. Thus, on this count as well, petitioner's case that the respondents were liable to be disqualified for violation of the whip dated 2nd June 2022 must be rejected. At this juncture, I intend to look into respondent submission that a whip cannot be issued in an election to the post of speakers has to be considered, even though the learned counsel for the petitioner submitted that in normal course of events no whip is issued for the election of the post of the speaker, but he submitted that the election held on 3rd July 2022 was not in normal course, but it was crucial event linked to the sustenance of the government. Petitioner further submitted that in any election where a candidate has been set up by the political party, then in that case the directions of the political party are binding on the legislator in important elections. At the outset itself, I must state that the record that the petitioner's submission that in a speaker's election candidates are set up by a political party is factually wrong. As a convention, the candidates are not usually seen as candidates set up by political party. In the present case also, Sri Rajan Salvi was not set up as a candidate of Shiv Sena, but his notice of nomination was moved by a legislator affiliated to the NCP and seconded by legislator affiliated to the INC. This clearly indicates that candidates for the election of speaker are not set up by political parties. In view of the same, the petitioner's own submission, a whip could not have been issued in the election of a speaker as the candidate was not set up by any political party. In view of my conclusions and findings recorded herein above, petition number 19 of 2022 is hereby dismissed. Petition number Group 6, which consists of petition number 21, again filed by a legislator belonging to the UBT faction under 2(1)(b) for defiance of whip issued during the confidence motion. I will only read the operative part and you can refer to the judgment for the details. The preliminary issue has already been decided in the previous orders, so that will apply to this as well. In view of my conclusions and findings recorded herein above, petition number 21 of 2022 is hereby dismissed. Now we shall deal with Group 5, being petition number 22 to 24, which have been filed by legislator belonging to the Shinde faction under paragraph 21A and paragraph 21B of the 10th schedule of the Constitution of India. Again, here I am not dealing with the preliminary issue which has already been ruled in the previous order. So I will directly go. Disqualification petition number 20 and 22 to 34 of 2022 has been filed by the petitioner Shri Bharat Gogawale against Shri Nitin Chandrakant Deshmukh and 13 other members of the 14th Maharashtra Legislative Assembly under paragraph 21A and paragraph 21B of the 10th schedule of the Constitution, inter alia on the following grounds: that A. Respondents have by their conduct voluntarily given up their membership of the SSLP, and 2. Respondents have voted against the whip issued on 3rd July 2022, wherein all members of the SSLP were issued directions to vote in favor of the confidence motion held on 4th July 2022. I'll straight away go to my analysis, observations and findings. The issue as to which faction was the real political party when the rival factions emerged and who was the duly authorized whip and the leader has been extensively discussed and decided in disqualification petition 1 to 16, group number 1. Since the genesis of both this group and the said group is the same, the preliminary issue is common. Thus, the said decision on preliminary issue decided in disqualification petition number 1 to 16 of 2022 be read as the decision hereunder. Petitioner has contended Petitioner has contended that the respondents are liable to be disqualified under paragraph 21A of the 10th schedule. This submission cannot be accepted and the respondents cannot be held to be disqualified on the grounds for the reasons that this ground is a mere allegation, and apart from mere assertion that the respondents have voluntarily given up the membership of SSLP, the petitioner has not put forth any evidence or material to substantiate it. A mere unsubstantiated statement that the legislators have voluntarily given up the membership cannot be a ground to attract disqualification under paragraph 21A of the 10th schedule. I have perused my record as well as a copy of the whip issued by the petitioner, which is signed by the petitioner as Chief Whip and Shri Eknath Shinde as the leader of the legislature party. Though the petitioner tried to show that the said whip was served and delivered on the respondents, the petitioner has failed to prove the service of the whip on each and every MLA of Shiv Sena. I have also examined in detail the cross-examination of the petitioner, Shri Bharat Gogawale, and have found major inconsistency in the answers regarding physical service of the whip, and therefore this evidence cannot be accepted. Insofar as delivery by WhatsApp is concerned, the same also was produced on the last day of the evidence despite ample opportunity for the same. Even the pleadings filed by the petitioner are silent on the issue of service. In these circumstances, it will not be justifiable for me to take on record a document purporting to be a screenshot of WhatsApp messages which were admittedly sent through a third person mobile number, i.e. one Mr. Santosh Kadam, who also did not step into the witness box. Thus, petitioner's plea to disqualify respondents cannot be accepted. The Honorable Supreme Court in Kyoto Holyan at paragraph 123 SCC has held that, keeping in view the consequences of the disqualification, termination of the membership of a house, it would be appropriate that the decision of whip which results in such disqualification under paragraph 21B is so worded as to clearly indicate that voting or abstaining from voting contrary to the said directions would result in incurring the disqualification under paragraph 2(1)(b) of the 10th schedule, so that the member concerned has foreknowledge of the consequences following from his conduct in voting or abstaining from voting contrary to such a direction. A perusal of the whip dated 3rd July 2022 shows that it does not contain any words which would indicate that the said whip, if not allowed, would result in disqualification. Thus, on this count as well, the petitioner's case that the respondents are liable to be disqualified for violation of whip dated 3rd July 2022 must be rejected. Rule 3 subclause 5 of members of Maharashtra Legislative Assembly disqualification on grounds of defection rule 1986 provides that where a member belonging to any political party votes or abstains from voting in the assembly contrary to any directions issued by such political party or by any person or authority authorized by it in this behalf without obtaining in either case the prior permission of such political party, person or authority, the leader of the legislature party concerned, or shall as soon as may be thereafter and in any case within 30 days from the date of such voting or abstinence inform the speaker as in form 2 whether such voting or abstinence has or has not been condoned by such political party, person or authority. From the records of the legislature secretariat, it is seen that the petitioner has not complied with this rule. Thus, on this ground also petitioner's case that the respondents are liable to be disqualified for violation of whip dated 2nd July 2022 must be rejected. In view of my conclusion, the findings recorded herein above, petition number 20 and 22 to 34 of 2022 are hereby dismissed. Group 2, petition number 17 against 2 independent MLAs and 1 Mr. Bachchu Kadu of PJP party. The same are dismissed. Yeah, you can apply for certified copies. We'll provide you with a mail as well as hard copies.